Hello and welcome to my dermatoscope reviews. This is the Heine Delta 1 dermatoscope that I'm reviewing today. Now, as always, for today, I'm just showing you the equipment, and to learn how to use it in more detail and how to interpret what you see, please come along to one of our Dermoscopy for Absolute Beginners events, which you can access through the PCDS website, pcds.org.uk. So this is the Delta 1. And it's a fairly simple scope. You'll find this big button here is the on-off switch, and when we press that, the light comes on. When I turn it this way, you can see there are two lights that have come on at the side. This little blue one indicates that it is in polarized mode. And when you press this button, you can see that the quality of the light changes as it switches between polarized and non-polarized. And you can tell it's polarized because the polarized light comes on. The other little light down here, which is shining green at the moment, is just telling you how much charge it has. When that goes yellow, you need to charge it. When it goes red, it's not going to work, or it's going to stop very quickly. And this one has a micro USB standard charger, so you can just plug it into any micro USB port. On the other side, if I turn it over, this button here changes the intensity of the light, and there are 3 light intensities, and it will switch between them as you do this. That's quite nice, particularly if your eyes are sensitive to light and you want to look at something with a lower light intensity, but you're going to need that higher light intensity to take photos. In order to focus this one, you twist this bit here, so you twist the eyepiece and the end plate extends, as you can see happening there. And to focus for flat lesions, unfortunately, there isn't a focus marker, but it is almost completely extended. So you extend it fully and bring it back a tiny bit, and that's going to be about right for looking at flat lesions through the scope. I've got it focused there. There we go. So it's about that far down. You will need to put it to the skin to check the focus. Now, assuming that you are using your phone as a camera, there is a new adapter, which is a game changer for this. But before I put this down to show you, I'm just going to show you the case it comes with, which I put to one side, because I can put it comfortably into the case just to rest it there and hold it to one side. Just going to put it across to that side. Now, the thing that is the game changer now is the new adapter. And this is the new adapter. Looks like this. And the other part of it is this little metal button. Now, the old style adapter that you used to be able to get for these was this one, which is a universal adapter, which has a sticky bit here that you peel that off, and then you could stick that onto the relevant phone on your camera. The problem with that, though, was that you then had this rather large and magnetic piece of equipment stuck to your camera all the time, stuck to your phone all the time in your pocket. This is a much more discreet little bit here, the button, and the adapter then clips onto the button. And I don't know if you can see, but there is a little knob on the side there, and there's a little gap on the side here, so it lines it up perfectly. So there we go, it is lined up now. And then when I want to attach the scope to the camera, it just goes on magnetically and it will hold it like that. That's the game changer, because the thing with this is that you can get multiple buttons. So if you are sharing the scope amongst multiple people, you can get several of these and you can line them up all with the same adapter. Ideally, once one person's done theirs, what you can do is you can then get your new button and attach it to this, take the sticky bit off the back of it, line it up over the camera for the next person, and then stick it on like that, so that you don't have to constantly adjust it. But if it is adjusted incorrectly for yours, there is a little screw thing here which you can loosen and then you can use that to change where it goes and which camera it's attached to. And that screw will then just do and go flat. One thing I would say with this though is that with this screw, if you accidentally unscrew it too far, it will come off completely. So it will come apart into 3 pieces, and then this screw is easily lost. So that's why I suggest making it so that people don't need to change it for their phones and getting them all exactly the same if there are multiple people sharing one adapter. The huge advantage of this type of adapter, though, is that you are not going to need to, no, I need to put it back in the right place. There we go. With this adapter, you are not going to have the issues that you have with the other adapters. So, for example, the Dermlight adapter, which will also work with this scope. You can see it will attach to that very nicely. So the Dermlight adapters will also work with the Heine scopes. This is the other type. Again, they will attach very nicely. The downside of this adapter, though, is that these bits on the edges, when you put your phone in, if you're not careful, you can accidentally turn your phone off by these bits pressing on the buttons on the sides. And with this one, this hooks over onto the phone, and so this softer bit here is touching the phone screen, and that may obstruct the functions that you need on the phone to get the camera to work, which can be a little bit frustrating. So this adapter is by far the best type of adapter for any scope at the moment. As far as I'm aware, that's the best type of adapter. And this, unfortunately, will not work with other scopes because of the shape of this end bit here. It only works with the Heine scopes. So back to this one. Now, one other thing to say is when you put it on, when you've attached your phone and adapter, let me just get it ready again. So once you've attached it on, you may find that the graticule on the scope is not lined up along your camera screen. And so you might be tempted to change it. Now, if you see what happens when I do this, can you see that as I move it round, the end plate is extending and coming back in? So what you may find is that if you attach it and then line it up, you may find that you lose the focus on it. So just be aware of that possibility, because this bit is fixed to the ring that moves the focus. The Delta one has got a nice big end plate on it here, and that lets you see lots of the lesion in one go. You need to be careful not to scratch the end plate. It is made of glass, and so it can scratch and it can break, but it comes with this fantastic case, and so you can just zip it up into the case, and the adapter will also fit into the case at the same time, and it will zip up around it. So it has this case that it comes with, and that helps to stop any damage to the end plate. The end plate, to clean it, you can simply extend it, and this bit comes off like that, so you can clean it on the inside here and the outside if you need to. It's not completely enclosed. There is a little way in there for dust to get in, and so you will have to take it off from time to time to clean it. And when you go to put it back on, you must make sure you hear it click. If you don't hear the click, it may appear to be attached back on, but actually not be fully attached, in which case it might fall off. And as it's made of glass, it can break if it falls off. If you take it on and off lots of times, you can occasionally do a bit of damage to this little black, there's a little black rubber ring there that's holding it on. These are very good scopes in terms of resilience. They're very solid and useful and helpful, but occasionally that little black rubber ring will get worn down over time and may need to be replaced. It's easy to do. So if the end plate is falling off or is getting loose, then it may be that you just need to replace that little rubber ring. The end plate is quite large, as I say. If you want to, there is a small contact end plate of a proboscis type that has a little bit that sticks out in the middle. That can be helpful for looking at things, for looking at smaller lesions or lesions in smaller areas that are harder to reach. Alternatively, of course, though, you can just not extend the end plate and just hold it away from the skin at about the correct distance. There are no disposable hygiene caps for the Heine scopes, but you can use a piece of cling film over it. That will work very well. And the other thing to say about charging it, so this is the charger point here for the micro USB, you cannot turn it on whilst it's charging. So if you come and find it and it has no charge to it, you need to plug it in and recharge it and then unplug it in order to turn it on. So overall, this is a very good size scope. It's got very good optics. It shows the shiny white lines well in polarized mode. It is easy and simple to use. The on-off switch is easy to find, and it has the little light to tell you if it's polarized or non-polarized light that you're looking at. But the real game changer with this one is the new adapter, which will let you attach it to multiple phones, multiple different phones, straight onto the back of the phone, just using this little metal button at the back of the phone. And the metal buttons are available separately from the scope itself. So this is the Heine Delta 1 dermatoscope, and as with all of my dermatoscope reviews, for today I'm just showing you the equipment. To learn how to use it in more detail and how to interpret what you see, please come along to one of our Dermoscopy for Absolute Beginners events, which you can access through the PCDS website, pcds.org.uk.